Part 2. Are you good enough to take on these incredible trilogies for intermediate platinum hunters? Let me know at the end. It's time to get some epic intermediate trilogies platted on our accounts. So let's go. In our easy trilogies of platinum trophies for beginner hunters video, I claimed that Spyro was the ideal trilogy of Mascot platforming nostalgic delight for new hunters looking to knock out their first trilogy and franchise. But Mascot platformers come in all shapes and sizes, and many of the cute and adorable modern iterations pay homage to the gruelingly difficult early days of arcade-inspired console gaming with trophy lists that make those dusty old 80s machines wince in sheer terror at the nervous breakdown-inducing pain of their platinums. Tough, sure, skill-dependent, absolutely, but brutally difficult? Not quite. It's time to talk about Crash Bandicoot's insane trilogy. And this is purely about the trilogy. The fourth game is inarguably that difficult, that hard. If you have that platinum, then I salute you. A truly skilled gamer. A truly talented hunter. But the trilogy is manageable, tough but doable for those of you out there with the dedication and patience, and this is a trilogy that, much like Spyro, is worth earning, for the original Crash trilogy was a pivotal game in the PS1 lifecycle, adored by many a 90s gamer, myself included. A vital franchise in the console's fledgling years. A piece of Sony splendor past that you can enjoy in the present in all its remastered glory. 3 games, 3 plats, so let's go. Now, we all know the story of Crash and his creator nemesis, Cortex. We all have one friend who liked Crash's sister Coco a little too much, and now they are full-on furry, spending their entire salary every month on fabric and thread imported from the Middle East that costs more than a PS5 Pro. Don't make it weird, we were kids when we played it. Cortex hates Crash, he wants him dead and fancies taking over the world with his own evil spirit, Uka Uka. Crash, helped by his helpful spirit Aku Aku, must foil his 60s Bond villain plan and usually save girlfriend Torna from the hilariously tragic fate that Cortex wishes to inflict upon her. Platinum 1. Crash Bandicoot. Considered the hardest by most because of the basic mechanics being easy to learn but hard to master. PSNP gives the game a respectable 7 out of 10 and an 18-hour estimate, but that time is dependent entirely on skill level. All miscellaneous trophies will almost certainly pop naturally as you work towards the 26 relics for the practice makes perfect Goldie, and therein lies the truth about Crash Bandicoot's insane platinums. They just take practice. Yes, this can be frustrating, infuriating even at times, but it is the only way to do it. Platinum number 2, Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. Now, I personally found Crash 2 the hardest of the games back when they first released because of new added mechanics that made the game a little bit more complex and, in my opinion, increased the amount of decisions that you have to make by giving your moveset more options. But what do you think? Which of the Insane trilogy has the insanest platinum? Type 1, 2 or 3 in the comments now to let us know. This platinum is the same as the first, but it has a 6 out of 10 on PSNP, and this time you have an extra relic to go and earn. But not only is Crash 2 the rarest of the 3 platinums, it also has the lowest number of earners too, making it truly the rarest, and I think that tells you everything. Platinum number 3, Crash Bandicoot Warped. Now, Warped is inarguably the trilogy's easiest game and is the least rare in terms of percentage of achievers, but is second in number of earners. So definitely the easiest, right? This time PSNP gives the game a middling 4 out of 10 and only a 15-hour completion, but by the time you get to Warped, you'll either be fed up to the back teeth of that furry fucking prick, you'll actually want Cortex to win, or you'll be so zen-like in your god-tier gaming sphere and breeze through this one, like Prince Andrew breezes through interviews. Either way, you'll be glad to save the easiest until last. This is Zach at ZXL claiming controversially that Crash Bandicoot's Insane Trilogy is not an expert gamer trilogy, but in fact an intimidating intermediate insane trio of platinums. So yeah, okay, so not really a trilogy, but the same franchise, same reality, same continuity as far as I know, and if it isn't, then does it matter? It's about vagina-shaped aliens that face assault people and impregnate them with their dildo-headed monster children. Now, I adore Alien, don't at me right now, come on, my cat is literally named after the director, and Geiger's art has a big influence on me artistically, but I do tell you this, people take this franchise way too fucking seriously. But the games are as good as the movies, and we've got a few to play that will test both your terror limits and skill ceiling. So let's go have some fun. Kicking off with the absolutely brilliant Alien Isolation. This horror survival in space is a tense and atmospheric masterpiece that dovetails into the original 1979 film wonderfully. We play as Ellen Ripley's orphan daughter, all grown up, Amanda. When she's trapped on space station Sevastopol, she encounters the knob-shaped dickheads that took her mother from her and has to investigate. Well, I mean, she has to survive, but on the way she does some investigating. The Platinum requires at least a couple of playthroughs, but if you enjoy the game half as much as I did and grow in confidence with each alien encounter that you survive, then each run is more fun than the last. It is one of the very few games that I enjoyed so much that I've been back to after the Platinum for another run. You will have to complete the story on hard, without killing any humans, which is easier said than done, and complete the entire game without dying. Don't panic, it's okay, it's not as hard as it sounds. Just be smart with your saving and you won't have to panic speedrun it on easy in one sitting, like I did. But you totally should, because it was so much fun and it really restored all the tension to my final playthrough to an intoxicating level. It was so cool. Now I think PSNP is understating it a little, so I'll bump their 4 out of 10 25-hour guide to a 5 out of 10 with a 30-hour completion, based purely on my experience with the game. And it is such a good game that it is worth playing, and when you do, I'm pretty sure that the game itself will make you want to platinum it. Platinum 2, Alien Dark Descent. Now we are going to go in continuity order, not release order here, and another readily available game for most players thanks to being December's game on PS Plus Basic. It is the highly regarded top-down real-time tactical shooter Dark Descent from the same ingenious and brutal minds that gave us XCOM. And that is all I needed to hear to avoid the living hell out of this game. Set 19 years in direct continuity from the original trilogy, you're on Leth, where a xenomorph outbreak is wreaking all sorts of fuckery. You control a ton of big gruff marines and try to get to the end of the 13-chapter campaign with as many of them alive as possible. Now when this game first came out, a furor of panic and terror swept the interwebs because of its perceived difficulty, but just 5% rare and now reported to have a few very helpful bugs and exploits that you can use to your advantage. The PSNP guide gives it a mere 5 out of 10, and the guide is a really thorough and well put together guide, so I trust it. Thank you, guide writer Fragile Hope, for your well put together and very helpful guide. The game has missable trophies, so you'll want to ensure that you keep all your marines alive by the campaign's end, kill every goddamn queen in the game, unlock your Xenotech, and find all the data pads. You'll still have a lot to do after that, however, as you must level up every class of your cavalry to level 10, complete the game in nightmare mode, and knock out a group of miscellaneous objectives, like having one of your loyal marines become a double amputee. Wait, what? Become a double amputee? What the fuck is this? Right, yeah, okay, yep, the chalk it up to experience bronzer. These game devs have got a brutal streak. With all that to do, you'd probably expect a ludicrous post 100-hour grind, but Fragile Hope estimates a 60-hour playtime in our future, which I think is pretty reasonable. Now, full disclosure, this is not the sort of game I would usually go for, and that's exactly why I'm going to go for it. I'm gonna add this to my playstack and give it the good old Welsh try. What about you? Are you gonna go for the Dark Descent Platinum as well? Let me know. Platinum number 3, Alien Fireteam Elite. Yes, this is the hard one of the trilogy. Finally in this Xeno-Morphed Trilogy is the team shooter Fireteam Elite, a game that Vault Boy Stephen Crimson Purgatory and even Platbro asked me to play, and I said no every single time, afraid of that 9 out of 10 difficulty. And I regret my cowardice. Sincerely, the game is absolutely fucking mint. Playing it on my Steam Deck, and damn, I wish I had done this Platinum. A game glorious in design but terrifying to play, let alone Platinum. But one most PlayStation players can Platinum because it was a monthly game on PS Plus Basic a while back. An 8 out of 10, 100 hour and 4 playthroughs that start standard, become intense, then get fucking insane, and go extreme. All difficulties must be beaten, and it does require co-op with real people who you can coordinate with and have at least some skill at shooters. RNG spawn points and numbers make this as tough as Mein Leben, but the trophy that catches me when I look at this list is the Supportive Squad Silvo for surviving 50 missions without any member of your team being downed. Now, if there's a way to do this easily, then fair enough, but on the surface, that trophy scares me more than the thought of this little beauty giving me mouth to mouth. But this is another game I've now committed to platting. I love the franchise, and it's time I committed to completing a franchise again. Part of my refocused approach to trophy hunting. Which, if you'd like to know more about my new relationship with trophies and which games I will and won't be platinuming in the future, let me know. It's a mishmash of Mascot racing madness. Platinum 1 Crash Team Racing, Platinum 2 Sight Team Racing, Platinum 3 Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. So this is not a trilogy of any sort, but rather a trio of pain and misery. I fucking hate racing games, I can't lie, I do, I fucking hate them. I love driving, but I hate games that involve too much driving. I don't know why, it sucks. But these games, which are of course just modern iterations of all their predecessors, every Mario Kart clone for every Mascot character and kids franchise out there, they all have a stupid mechanic, lopsided advantages, and infuriating difficulties. Now Sonic, who apparently needs a car to race which is slower than he is, I don't get it, do you get it? Let me know. But he gets a 5 out of 10 platinum, while Crash gets a rough and respectable 8, and Kart Racers 3 having no guide but an ultra rare platinum, very, very sus. So all in all, a fairly intimidating and intermediate trilogy, an easy-ish one, a ruthless one, and a mystery one that you'll have to figure out for yourself, which are all achievable for you as an experienced hunter. So will you go for this mismatch of racing Mascot madness, or will you just toss it off like I did? Let me know. They are our picks for brilliant trilogies with intermediate platinums for experienced hunters. Have you got any of these? Have you got all of them? Have you got none of them? Are you going to go for some of them? What games should be on this list that aren't? Let me know in the comments. Be good to yourselves and each other.